Hi, I'm Gemma, and this is a chat with Gemma. So, I've been going through a lot of stresses lately, as I've talked about. And then my father had pretty big health scare. He's very elderly. He's reached a pretty great age, like a lot of people do these days. You know, with the help of modern medicine, there are a lot of people reaching very great ages. But it's just so difficult watching somebody who's, reached that age and, lived their life and probably suffered all sorts of things throughout their lives. And now, when they're frail and so old, to be suffering, you just do kind of question God at these times and you say, well, God, there's just so much suffering in the world and there's been so much suffering. Just end it. Time to finish, no more. But I suppose it's not what I want to have happen. And of course, life's not always like that. There are, as I've talked about before, lots of ordinary times and lots of very happy times. And, people can just go along in life for quite a long time before anything bad happens. But when something, sort of that makes you very, very sad happens, it does kind of make you think that all of life is sad and it's always going to be sad and there's no end to the sadness. And certainly when you read some of the stories, in your family ancestry and all of that, it's better not to know about some of the stories of what people went through in the past and so on. So this, I suppose it's like wearing grey-coloured glasses. So everything you look at during times like this just looks grey, and I'm thinking about my father all the time, pretty much all the time, and feeling, like I'd like to be able to help him, but what can I do, sort of thing. And, if you've lost somebody, if somebody's died, again, it's kind of like, certainly for a while after they've died, maybe not forever, you do like feel as if you're wearing grey-coloured glasses, so everything you look at seems sad and seems like as if this is a terrible world. But as I say, things are temporary and transient, and so you do pass through things and you move on. And every now and then, you see something or you touch something, perhaps belonging to somebody who's died, and you kind of have like being smacked in the face with this empty, sad feeling. Oh, where did that come from? And then you just go on with life again, and there probably are just always going to be those moments, of sadness. And so I certainly hope you're not going through something like this at the moment, but if you are, you're not the only one, and there are other people out there in the world who know the sorts of thoughts and feelings that you're having, and the sorts of maybe weird kind of experiences that you're having. For example, my mother died 4 years ago, and she's 90, and it was like, people are not going to live to 120 or something like that. But I was at Dad was on his own. I was at Dad's house, and I went over to close a curtain, and I just thought, oh, Mum chose this curtain, and it's never been replaced. And where is she? This is her curtain. It's just like, it's very hard to explain, but I just had this sort of moment where, like I went into this kind of world for bit where it's just like, oh, the sadness of that. That where's the person that belongs with this curtain? Where are they? Or, I can remember when my grandmother died. My grandfather, called me into their bedroom and said, pick something out of the jewellery box. And I sort of looked at her little items that she had there. She had a little thing of, this is hard to explain because I still don't really, I can't really remember it very well, but there were little things like moisturising creams and hand creams and I don't know what. And I looked at these things and I thought, none of these could save her life. She used these things for different purposes, dry skin or, itchy, skin or whatever. And we use eye drops because we've got dry eyes and all these things that we use, but not one of those things can stop us from dying. And it was this kind of profound sadness for that moment, but of course it does pass. And so if you are going through a grieving process or things just have gotten really sad, maybe somebody hasn't died, but maybe somebody's not themselves anymore. Sometimes people get dementia and they don't remember you anymore, and they don't remember your name, and perhaps want you out of the room because they think you're a stranger and things like that. So there's all kinds of things that people go through that are not to do with death, but are still extremely sad. And you just have to, I think that everything in life passes on. I don't know, life is a lot of series of sufferings, even when a baby's being born. A poor little baby, their head gets squashed and they come out crying and all of that. And then, they learn to walk and all those stages, and then there's death, but they all pass on. And when you die, hopefully, you go to heaven. And that's a good thing. Because this place is pretty awful. So getting to heaven's a good thing. So it's something to look forward to, not to dread. And for now, you have to just maybe suffer, if that's what your experience is right now, and know that it won't be forever, and the grey glasses will go away, and you'll be able to look at things and maybe think, oh, that's so beautiful, laugh at a joke really hard, or be doing your particular hobby and just forget yourself for a while and, oh, I've lost an hour of doing that, and you're quite happy, and different things like that. So the thing is, we people have to stick together and at least know that if you're suffering and things are just too sad and they seem unbearable, that other people do understand. Other people have been through, many other people have been through what you've been through and understand. And we have to find people to lean on and to talk to and to find comfort from. And I do wish you healing, peace of mind and relief. God bless you. Bye for now.